So what exactly was the Renaissance? Well, in the 15th and 16th centuries, after the Dark Ages had passed, it was a time of discovery, invention, new ideas. Kings ruled, artisans and music flourished. It was the time of awakening, and yes, it was a time of grand celebrations. And are those celebrations just a part of a long-gone history? No, not at all. In fact, for 30 years now, the Arizona Renaissance Festival has been bringing the grand celebration to you. And it comes alive once a year. But what does the 30th anniversary of the Arizona Renaissance Festival really look like? They're just waiting for me to say, huzzah! Or dilly dilly, or whatever it is that you're supposed to say. Most important thing is come on, you're invited to join me at the Arizona Renaissance Festival. It's hard to believe that what started 30 years ago on a small plot of land in the East Valley has grown into the grand festival that it is today. With an unbelievable amount of unique things to see and experience, the Arizona Renaissance Festival has grown into a sprawling kingdom. Over 30 acres of historic music, art, performances, and yes, traditions. For example, every morning before the festival begins, the mayor welcomes the daily crowd of visitors at the festival gates. And every morning he announces the arrival of the Queen and her court. Now, I have to admit, I've never been this close to royalty, so I thought I'd try to catch up and say hello. Excuse me, Your Majesty. I'm terribly sorry to bother you, but my name is Pat McMahon, and I'm new to the 16th century. How can I be comfortable at the Renaissance Festival?
Well, you look very comfortable to me, my lord.
Thank you. Is this appropriate?
Oh, yes, it is very appropriate. Are you warm?
A little, but I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. And
excellent.
So that's what you're supposed to be. I do have one question, if you don't mind.
Of course.
My friends and I are in the business of telling people across the state what's going on, where they should go, what they can enjoy. Do you have someone in the court that tells people about information?
Well, you could ask the Lord Mayor. He knows everything. But it is a 30-acre circus almost, a medieval circus. 13 stages with uproarious entertainment all day long. And oh, if you like eating, this is the place to go, is it not, dear? There is food representative of all over the world.
And are you a fan of sports, jousting?
It is my favorite sport. Next to bocce.
Next to what?
Bocce.
Oh, does the court allow you to play bocce ball?
Yes, we are on our way now to play bocce.
Well, then don't let me interrupt, because you're so kind to offer a commoner like me this conversation.
Of course,
Thank
anything
you.
for a festival day.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
So while the Queen went on to have her round of bocce ball, we realized that we had a lot of things to see and a lot of ground to cover. And fortunately for me, I stumbled on a mode of transportation that would be a little easier on my feet. Yeah, this works for me. Now, I have to say, one of my favorite things about the Renaissance Festival isn't just the many things to see and do, but also the incredible people you find all around the festival. Now, take this guy, for instance. He calls himself Zilch the Storyteller, or maybe we should call him Zilch the Tory Steller, because the unique thing about him is that he speaks and says his words in reverse, and he's always entertaining. So, Zilch, listen, I know you're the Tory Steller, and we've been talking for the 30 years that the Renaissance Festival has been going on. I have had only one problem watching your performance.
Oh?
I didn't understand a word you said.
Well, I have yet to come out with a decoder ring.
All right, so the Tory Steller is your version of being a storyteller.
Right, exactly. And my hook is that I speak in what are called spoonerisms, which date back actually to the beginning of language. The ancient Greeks called it metathesis. The reason it's called a Spoonerism is because of Reverend Spooner, who used to say things like, "The Lord is a shoving leopard," or "Pardon me, Padam, but this pie is occupied. May I sew you to another sheet?"
Yes.
Well, they've been used for comedy. Even Eugene O'Neill used one in one of his plays, Ah Wilderness. He has a line in Spoonerisms there.
But if somebody comes up to you, for example, a costumed knave like me,
Yes.
And says, "Yeah, but how would you say another British name like Paul McCartney?"
Like Call McCartnney.
You just do it spontaneously.
It numbs casually off the hop of my head. I've been doing it so long that I don't have to think very hard about it or think very hard about it.
But besides telling stories, you also play them too.
I do.
Since when? How long have you been on this instrument?
I think it started somewhere around my 22nd birthday when I figured out it was easier to sound good on a mandolin than it was the violin, which I already played. So I never got past the squeaky, squawky part. So I've learned how to play little music stings when things are funny or when they're not.
We think of him as the Jimi Hendrix of the Renaissance Festival. Didn't I see you at Woodstock? I saw a lot of people at Woodstock
I'm
with
not
this
quite
kind of an
old enough.
outfit.
I'm in one of the ancients out here.
Okay,
but I'm
listen. Since this is though a special broadcast with as much of the Renaissance Festival as we can put into a half an hour.
Yes.
Tell me, in 30 years, what kind of a transition you've seen in this land,
from
this location.
From a little tiny square patch of desert to this lush, shaded, 33-acre, magnificent production. It's changed so much. We started out very small and when we first began here, the front gate was a couple of poles with a banner between it. And now it's a major edifice.
You know, the one thing that we have never had on this television station is anybody with your version of Tory Stelling tell everybody to watch Channel 7.
Oh, Soch Channel 11.
Got it?
Make sure every morning you tune into Matt McMahon on Channel 7. They'll give you the date stroke.
There's more to see at the Arizona Renaissance Festival, so stay with us. Welcome back to the 30th anniversary of the Arizona Renaissance Festival. And what a festival it is. I'm Pat McMahon, and yes, this is my groovy rickshaw. Hey, great transportation and never needs an oil change. We're continuing our exploration of this unique 30-acre village filled with non-stop entertainment, music, dance, comedy, food, seafarers, pirates. The list goes on and on. And to think, it's all right here in the East Valley. Now, probably one of the favorite crowd pleasers here at the festival has to be the jousting. The crowds are mesmerized as these knights in armor compete in an age-old duel of chivalry and courage. And I figure since we're here, we thought we would catch up with one of the brave knights. His name is Maximilian. How's that for a knight's name? He's known as the jousting Earl of Braden. Thought March Madness was crazy. I'm in the jousting arena right now. And Sir Maximilian...
My liege, It is always a pleasure.
I am so impressed with what you just did. For the folks who have never seen jousting, explain what goes on in this arena every day of the Arizona Renaissance
All right,
Festival.
3 times a day, the knights here meet upon the field, and we wear full plate armor, and the attempt is to do as much damage to the wood on the other knight as possible, either breaking your own lance or stealing his shield. We hit each other with full speed on the cantering horse, and we attempt to do as much damage and gain thus the most points.
And at the same time that we're hearing complaints from people from Fargo, North Dakota about the temperature today, tell them please, if you will, about your full armor.
Ah, well, sir, I am in 114 pounds of steel. It's a tad warm, but I sweat mostly because of the lovely women here. They do keep me upon edge, I have to admit.
I would imagine probably you also are among sports superstars in this era.
In fact, sir, I am known to be magnificent, and I'm a champion. I'm currently tied for lead at this after the first tournament, and we have 2 more matches this day, and whoever is at the end of the day has the points lead will be the victor and is awarded the golden chain of this fine village, Fairhaven.
But it's not quite the same value as my golden
It is
chain.
not, sir. It is a paltry trinket compared to thus.
Yes, I thank you so much, because the ladies of the court would prefer my company to yours, sir.
I completely could not agree more.
No offense at all, but sometimes when you come in from jousting, how do I say this discreetly?
I outrank everyone?
Yes,
That could
very,
be the
very
phrase.
well done. That's why Maximilian is the Magnificent. How many of the jousts go on throughout the day?
We have three matches, in which each match there are two full competitions.
And the audience goes crazy.
They do mostly for me, I have to agree.
And you know, we're talking in the court about referring to you not just as Maximilian the Magnificent, but also Maximilian the Humble. What do you think?
I could not agree more. It is an apt phrase to describe me in my visage in the mirror, and I look at myself and I think I am so magnificent that I grace other people with my presence, and that is my duty to humanity.
I wonder if there's any such thing as minor league jousting. How do you start?
Well, squires. You start as a squire and you work your way up. We have several squires here who are in training, and they would be considered, as you phrase, as a minor league. And as they improve in their skill and accuracy, then they become a full-fledged tournament jouster.
Even though, Maximilian, I would never want you to take the chance of being on the cover of Sports Illustrated magazine, because your career would immediately begin to descend into the bowels of the earth. But you are among the stars of your field. Is there any end? Is there any height? Is there any peak to your grandeur?
Well, here's my plan, if you would care to hear it.
Yes.
I plan to win the tournament this day. Her Majesty will be in the attendance at the final tournament. I'm going to win it, and then I'm going to marry her, and I'm going to become king. That is my ultimate goal. What do you think? Do you think I have a chance?
I think it's a nice idea, but I had the same kind of ambition. We may simply have to do something outside the jousting arena.
I think maybe we have to do something inside the jousting arena.
You've just met Sir Maximilian the Magnificent on his way to the throne.
Soon to be king! Once this will all be mine, and I will raise your taxes. Especially yours. Not yours, his.
Oh, there's so much more to see at the Arizona Renaissance Festival, and you'll find out how much more when you stay with us right after this. Welcome back to the 30th anniversary of the Arizona Renaissance Festival. Now, the Renaissance Festival is a lot of things. There's something to do and see for just about anyone. Some have called it the ultimate family adventure. We call it simply amazing. But a huge bonus probably has to be the vast amount of things you can learn by attending the festival. Take this gentleman. He's known as Lord Robert, the King's Royal Falconer.
The differences in the language. In Europe and Africa, where these birds are found, hawks are actually named buzzards, whereas here in the States, vultures are sometimes called buzzards. The difference is, there's not actually an animal here in this country that's named a buzzard like this one is. Let's send him on his way home. Hup, say goodbye to Orion, everybody.
Lord Ryan, introduce me to your partner.
I would like to introduce you to Orion, and he is an African auger buzzard, which is a type of hawk, actually.
With an Irish name.
With an Irish name, yes.
Yes, and you are the falconer and have been for quite a while with the Renaissance Festival.
Indeed, I have. This is actually my 25th year here.
How long has Orion been performing?
Orion has been with us since he was about 2 months old, and he is now about 17 years.
Orion, you are a stately bird, I must tell you, and what a performer you are. Tell me, though, about the whole world of falconry. That's something that, at least as far as city kids are concerned, we don't see anymore.
Well, you know, falconry has been around for more than 4,000 years. It's believed to have begun in the Orient. So it's quite an old sport. It's been around for generations with royalty. You know, in King Henry's court, no one else was allowed to keep a bird of prey, just the court. So if anyone was found with one of His Majesty's birds of prey,
yes,
they would have been beheaded on the spot.
Well, that seems to be then symbolic of how serious they take
Indeed.
Falconry in the court. I would like to know how serious Ryan takes me as a total stranger. What if I went over and just introduced myself to Ryan and reached out for his claw? What would happen?
He's actually rather dangerous.
Oh, thank you so much.
Indeed he is.
I'm so
Those
happy they gave us
talons-
the falconry part of this program.
That's right, those talons are razor sharp.
So if you're talking about being dangerous to just a commoner like me coming up from the group, he'd be more dangerous to the rodents.
That's right, they eat small prey, so rabbits, rats, mice, snakes even, and anything they can catch because they are opportunistic prey.
How fast do they fly?
This one not very fast at all. This one actually would travel around 25, 35 miles an hour in a level flight. However, as relative to the falcon, there's one called the peregrine falcon, which is actually the fastest animal on Earth. Top speed ever recorded, 273 miles an hour in a straight down dive.
Amazing. We have tourists who visit us on the 101 that go about 12 miles an hour in the fast lane. But it is such a pleasure to have seen you perform, and you'll be here every day that there is a Renaissance Festival, Saturdays and Sundays, and so will Orion.
Indeed, 4 times a day. It's a family-friendly show, and it's great for the whole family to enjoy.
And you stick around because we've got more for you to enjoy here at the Arizona Renaissance Festival in its 30th year. And welcome back again to the 30th anniversary of the Arizona Renaissance Festival. Now, no doubt when someone thinks about the Renaissance Festival, the first things that come to mind are great art and handiwork, entertainment,
And ladies, it's true. We are an actual...
and of course, food. And that's where this master of the feast comes in. His name is Rook, the feast master. Every day, Rook, along with the Lord of Leftovers, holds court and calls the names of those that have been selected to come in and partake in the royal feast. Everything you could possibly imagine to eat and drink at the Renaissance Festival. I mean, food from all over the world. There's sausages and Asian food, and of course the famous turkey legs. But if you want serious dining, then you have to come to see these gentlemen, the Feastmaster and the Lord of the Leftovers. And if you will, explain to the audience watching this Renaissance Festival special exactly what kind of dining takes place in the feasting room.
I'd have to say it's the body kind, really. I mean, we kind of have a wild party going on in here, but the feast is like an hour and a half long, 5-course meal. All right, and it's very high-end, good stuff. But we also have entertainment. We bring in all kinds of, we have pipe and drum bands, we have dancing girls, we have Morris dancers. You're gonna have to look that one up, I think. It's not the most common thing in the world. But we have incredible entertainment. We have a 4-piece horn band that really fills this whole hall full of sound. We've got a couple hundred people a day coming in here just to do the feast. And if you ask me, it's the most intimate, most exclusive event on the entire festival grounds.
But at all fine dining locations, you should make a reservation, and I'm assuming that's true here.
Very much so. In fact, I think that we're on track to be nearly halfway sold out for the entire season, but there's still little breaks in the seating between now and the end, so if somebody calls ahead and books a seat, they should be able to get in. But it's a very popular event.
1 sitting or 2 sittings a day?
We have 2 seatings per day, 100 people in the hall each time.
All right, now Lord of the Leftovers, if you could perhaps tempt our audience right now, because these are fine dining people. Let them know about the menu.
Let me tell you, we have prime rib done to perfection. We have quail in a wonderful apricot sauce, served with wonderful vegetables, a most exquisite display. There's a chocolate dessert called a Galactibo Rico, which is chocolate
what?
sweet. I don't know.
Oh, that's right, it's Greek this year. We have a Greek
I just
theme.
make this stuff up. The salad and the soup are spectacular. Indeed, if you paid the amount of money we charge you to get in here without the entertainment, you would not be say, oh, this is overpriced. Plus, I know some of you are thinking, what about wine and beer? We have wine and beer.
And you can decide for yourself, of course, about whether you want the first seating or the second seating. But you probably have already decided on the fabulous feast at the Arizona Renaissance Festival. And with that, I must say that the Arizona Renaissance Festival is probably one step back in time that anyone of any age would love. With new things to see every year, you can come explore this delightful 30-acre festival village, filled with 13 stages of non-stop entertainment, music, dance, acrobatics, not to mention over 200 shops, studios, and galleries, filled with unique arts and crafts, pubs, and more. It truly is a day-long adventure for the entire family. Well, it has been an incredible day for me, and we hope you plan to visit soon. This is Pat McMahon, and we hope to see you at the Arizona Renaissance Festival.